Can you speak to the type of client that you pursued when
Yeah.
you not only got started, but when you grew? And I also need to tell the audience this. While Chad doesn't come from the industry per se, he didn't grow up in collections. This industry wasn't handed to you. You needed to learn it really from the ground up. Why did you pursue those types of clients?
When I first really took off with the business, I didn't want to do what everyone else was doing. The industry has such a negative stereotype. And so my goal was always to do things the opposite of other companies. And when I started doing that internally with my team, and then I started doing it with my clients, I quickly realized it works. If you do it different, and I always said the opposite, and I mean the opposite. I mean, like if employees who were all complaining about how they were treated by their collection agencies, they hated the fact that they, had to work late nights and had to work weekends. So I did open schedules. My employees hated the fact that they had to work in group pools. And so I gave everyone more of an entrepreneurial track, and they made a commission of what they got in their portfolio. And that was it. It was never tied to other things. My clients, they never heard from anyone at their companies. My clients called and they needed someone to come pick up the accounts. I was in their office that day. So I always tried to do things differently, and it worked. And so I just thrived off that, and I'm very competitive. And I wanted to build the kind of company that I wanted to work in. And I knew that if I would go out and get these big clients, that they were going to run me through the ground. And I was a small company. So my mentor, he taught me, when our first day training, we walked into 3 dentist offices. He literally made the gals at the front desk laugh, and we got clients. And he's like, just go back to Columbus and do that. I mean, that was my training. So when I went back to Columbus, I literally got in my car after class. I knocked on doors. I got kicked out of offices saying no solicitation. Can't you see the sign? And I didn't stop until I got someone to start having conversations. And I would tell them, look, at first we were out of Cleveland. We're different. We're nice to people. I got an incredible office, and people with no money up front, no contracts to sign, they were willing to give us a try. And so when I realized that I found success early on, then I started going crazy. And that's when I just started getting client after client. And I was going after those small clients. They were easier to get. They weren't a pain in the butt. And they gave me business right away. So I could start making an impact. And believe it or not, even though a lot of companies don't want these small clients, they think they're a pain in the butt because of the servicing of it. You can make money quickly from them because they're easier to collect, they're easier to make happy. And a lot of those office managers and contacts, they go to other offices. They bring you with them, so you had a good experience, and they take you to the bigger places. So it just led into other bigger type clients. And honestly, Mike, I didn't care who I was going after. I just went after everyone who had a debt that probably needed to use an agency. I went after, and we just had that niche of those smaller offices. They got the short end of the stick with big companies, and we were able to provide a great service, and they loved us and just kept using us.
I think the world needs to listen to what you just said. There's just too many people who follow the leader. People are chasing these 800-pound gorilla clients out there, and they think the smaller practitioner in your case or creditor, they think there's not enough skin on that bone in order for them to make a profit. But yet you didn't run a mom and pop business. You ran a successful operation that did other things, but really supported the need for receivables management in a way that distinguishes you, but you were able to build size. A lot of companies die after they can't grow anymore, so they die on the vine after $1 million in revenue. Not you. This is not a mom and pop business. Are you the largest business, the Parallon of the world? No, but you didn't want to be. You wanted to have a strong operation, which made a difference with your clients. You knew you weren't running a charity, so you were making a profit along the way, and you figured it out. Kudos to you, man.